Welcome to Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abraham. You know my partner, Albert Cam. And Albert, YSU, if this verbal holds, they got a good one.
Yeah, the two local players they have signed, no question about that. The first one is Steven Sims, who played at Girard, went to Harding, talked to people about him before. They knew he was a talented young man. And YSU got a verbal from him. He's an all-around receiver, no question about it. Mostly in the slot, had over 1,000 yards receiving and rushing, 21 touchdowns. If you watch film of him, you'll see his explosiveness. That's the kind of player you want. I don't know where YSU's planning on playing
90
him.
tackles on defense,
So he can do it defensively too, yes.
Yeah.
So there's no question about that. Just before that, they had signed Juju Phillips from Farrell, who's a tremendous player at Farrell, great receiver. And And I'm hoping that YSU understands that in today's world, verbals, they mean zero. Somebody could come in and swoop in those two guys.
About to babysit them.
Yes,
unfortunately.
They're going to be all in on them completely.
Right.
If you let up for a second, Coach Phillips, you know that Akron or Toledo or one of those will come in late. And George, you know how many times we've talked to Coach Slocum about that.
Yeah.
You think you have a player all wrapped up.
Then the big boys fly in the weekend.
All it takes is one big boy to come in and say, hey.
These guys, I know of both these guys. Mm-hmm. So that tells you.
Yeah, so those are two great gets. You know what? That's what you want to get locally, by the way. You don't want to get local riffraff. Mm-hmm. You want to get stars, and you got two of them here that can make you a dominant force in the league.
That's what Pitt doesn't do. The 4 and 4.5ers end up at Penn State or Michigan or wherever. Pitt gets fine. They get a lot of threes, and they coach them the best they can, but they're not getting that blue chipper.
Yeah, YSU and Pitt are a lot alike. What George's saying, that they are great at developing players. You know that word's important also. Penn State doesn't have to develop as much as get them.
No, right.
They get the kids that when you watch a game, your mouth's wide open, saying, "Oh, jeez, can you believe this kid?" And development's important. So YSU, I know you'll do that. You got two good players here. Develop them even more. Let's hope they stay as Penguins.
And the best part about the football season coming up is North Dakota State opening with Colorado. You want to make a name for the league. Mm-hmm. Beat.
Oh no. That'll be headlines.
Oh, Coach Prime. You don't think I'll be rooting that day, buddy? I never rooted for the Bison in my life. I'll be rooting for North Dakota
What's
State.
interesting right now, and I'll say it right now, they're not as good as they used to be. Like if this was 4 years ago,
or even 7, yeah. Remember when we had Iowa?
There'd be no question. I'd sit here and say,
they got
Colorado's getting beat.
Do you see what the receiver / D-back said about their line?
No.
He said they're no good. You guys said they don't. Now remember, they're doing this EA Sports. And he basically talked out of turn and said they can't block anybody.
Good, huh? But they weren't any good last year.
But Shador tried to cover it up. So he meant last year.
Okay. Well, last year they weren't.
Yeah.
I don't know about this year. We'll find out.
You don't want to say that before it starts.
No.
But no, I remember thinking about that one day. I don't know if you remember. You and I had Iowa.
Yeah, I do remember.
It was like 9.5, and I looked. I said, "We got one problem that I see." You said, "What?" I said, "Stinking North Dakota State."
Yeah, we knew.
And I think they got him, or we squeezed one out.
Yeah, it was a close victory.
Exactly.
If they were playing South Dakota State,
oh yeah,
then I tell Colorado, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Well, that quarterback's gone, right?
Yeah, they still recruit like crazy.
Gronkowski or whatever.
They recruit.
Oh
like
no,
crazy.
that league. I watched that league, and then the playoffs start, and you just think, was it going to be
they play
two of them against each other? Yeah. What's that tell you?
Locally, a lot of things going on, but locally, young kids are playing in the minors. Locally. Canfield has made it to the Ohio State Little League Championships for 8 to 10-year-old. They will play Willersburg. Good luck to Canfield in that young division. You know, it doesn't matter what age you are, people want to win. And kids want to win. So they're going to play for the championship to move on. That's played as we're speaking. And also in the major 10 to 12 Little League, Austin Fitch has moved on to the finals. And they will play also West Side Little League. Let's hope next week we get on and say congratulations to Austintown and Canfield.
Oh yeah, it's a big deal. I don't care where you're playing, how old you are, like you said, there's a scoreboard, and at some point there's a winner and a loser. Now, I'm not sure about how early I like it being life or death.
It's not. It shouldn't be life or death.
But it doesn't mean.
But they do play to win.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the one
absolutely.
thing. After the game, you shake hands and go home and have your hot dogs and s'mores. But when you're playing,
No,
you go play to win.
It's all out.
And the message really is more for the parents than it is for the kids.
Yeah.
Hey, parents.
Yeah, come on now.
This is not the end of the world. You don't get in a fist fight during the game.
Yeah.
Because the umpire missed a call. Please.
Yeah, it's some kid that makes $20 a game.
Yes,
and
yes.
You're going to tear him up. I was looking at that the other day. They were talking to Patrick Mahomes, and he was saying how important it is to play other sports. And there were other guys online talking about how important it is to be able to play more than one position. And I noted that Pittsburgh drafted a shortstop, 6'4". And I thought to myself, Joe Paterno used to get as many quarterbacks as he could. Mm-hmm. Now, it cost him Jim Kelly.
Right.
But at the same time,
Jack Ham.
Yeah, how's that? Yeah, Steve Smear,
yes.
Mike Reed, all those guys. Good point.
Yeah, that kid's going to move to center field. I think there's no
Yeah,
doubt.
that's the talk.
Yeah, they'll move him to center field. And we're talking about the Pirate Griffin kid who got drafted. But yeah, you go to these games, and it's a sad commentary that the parents are playing through their kids.
Yeah.
You know, just let 8 years old. Let the kid get up there and smack as best he can and see what happens. No question.
Yeah. I think he's a little young to be, making them like.
You ever hear you talk about Mahomes? That was a great comment. I like Mahomes' comment about the best part of it. He said, "Why you think it was playing good to play other sports?" He said, "Well, I was really good, but there was one I struggled in a little bit. That's the one that taught me the most."
There you go.
He said, if you struggle a little bit in a sport, you find out, how do I get better at this? What do I have to do this?
There you go.
There's not many. There's some kids. There's some just like Bo Jackson, but there's many that are really good in basketball and decent at baseball. Or really, they're not the star of all three.
Right.
And they come along.
I heard Worthy talking last. He was on a podcast talking about Jordan getting cut early and this and that. He said when he first got to Carolina, he was not that skilled, but he had voracious work ethic.
Talking about Jordan or
yes.
Worthy?
Worthy was talking about Jordan.
Okay.
And he said, I think that he was a better baseball player coming in. He said, I'm not sure. Wow. But he just got, he was
his work ethic
crazy work.
Yes, him and Kobe are just stand out.
That's what he said. They called him Mike back then. He was just Mike.
Yes.
And he was talking about him hitting that winning shot. They were in the other team was in his zone, Georgetown, and
I watched it.
He flashed high. Postman dug, and he flipped to the corner, and he said Dean had said to Michael, how they do when you're breaking out, if you got it, I'll take it. He said, if you get it, knock it down.
Ball, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no question.
Hey, let's talk about the All-Star break. We're in the middle of a...
Go Bucks.
Keep them going, boys. We're not that fussy. We only need 87. We don't need 100, do we?
77.
77.
Don't get no,
77. I'd be already digging out the money out of the drawer. 5/8 of the season. That's what people have to realize. Not that they have to be a math major, but it's way more than half.
I think it's important that people call the All-Star break. I have two friends that text me.
Yeah.
And they call it the halfway point.
No.
And I have to say it to them. I don't have 5/8 and like you put it down.
Yeah.
I just say, no, it's not.
No. Well, here it is, 96 out of 162. Cleveland, 59 and 37. Just tremendous.
Yes.
Just
but they're not playing good right now.
No, I have
that's
them
what happened.
4 and 6.
They're not playing good right now. But see, they got such a big jump.
Yeah, they're.
What do we say? You can win it.
Yep.
I mean, you can.
Yep. You can
lose it,
but you can't win it. No,
So it's a long
and then
season.
Pittsburgh, Al and I have them over. We're kidding around and all.
Yeah.
But at 48 and 48, they just have to win 28 more out of 35. We can go 28 and 35 and win. That was a good help for us this weekend.
The just is the bad part.
No,
because I told you.
No, they could lose 5 in a row. No hitting.
In a second, you can say next week, man, now we got to win this.
You can't hit.
Yeah.
But it was a surprise. Even as bad as the White Sox are, I thought they'd get one. Hope they would.
I said, they got lucky. Do you understand? Their best pitcher was going to pitch a shutout.
Yeah, he pitched
and they
2.
took him out after 2 innings. I have no idea. See, this is so bad.
I'd like to ask them.
No, they're doing what they do with Skeens. Yeah. They said, this is our
2 innings?
This is our best. Yeah, they had to play 30 pitches. They said, I know. What can we say?
You told me 72. I'd be okay. No, I wouldn't like it.
The kid knew going to the game.
Yeah,
he was going to pitch 30 pitches. Mm-hmm. I didn't know. But I'm saying it's pretty amazing that the Pirates could do that at any time with Skeens and Jones.
Well, Cleveland's 4-6 in their last 10. Pittsburgh 7-3. It was a good week.
No, 7-3 is unbelievable.
But who knew that would happen?
Yeah.
But the All-Star game, we've talked about this. We did a little special. If you haven't checked it out, please check it out. We did that last week. It's lost its luster for guys like us because we remember when A, it was a real game,
big.
And B, we didn't see the other guys. That was before 17 different channels. Like I'm flipping the other night. There's a game on TBS. There's a game on Fox Sports. There's a game on MLB.
It's so different.
It's to the point where, who's pitching? They want Skeens against Judge and Soto for the entertainment value. Mm-hmm. And that's all.
Yeah, the game has turned into entertainment value because I used to love when they would wear their own jerseys and for the All-Star game.
I did too. I don't like this.
I just love when because you were fans for your team. So when they announced and playing right field in the All-Star and batting third, Roberto Clemente, I'd be so fired up watching him come out with his Pittsburgh. Now I have no idea what uniforms they're going to wear.
Pink and green or something, whatever will sell some more next week. That's all they care about.
You young fans, I know we sound old, and I am old, by the way. George is much younger than me with regard to his thoughts. I don't grasp that this game means zero, that guys don't want to go.
Sale wanted to pitch yesterday.
So he didn't have to go.
That's
what I'm saying.
See, when they used to pay him $500, they all went.
I know you didn't hear that.
That's embarrassing.
That was big.
That's what they give the clubhouse boy now.
Yeah, that's what they played. They made $6,000 a year. So when they said they had $500.
Yeah.
Now they make. Let's say I don't know. I'll say 10,000. Do you understand? They make 5.7 million.
They
don't care about.
They used to have that All-Star game for football in Hawaii, and the guys would be all excited. Now they take the whole line when they get it. They don't even. It's so out of whack as far as that goes. Skeens 1 inning. Obviously, that'll be a big deal to the Pirate fans, and I would be interested in seeing. I assume that call came from the National League to the manager of Arizona. I was there when he called Skeens. He was on Dan Patrick. He called him live.
Oh, okay.
And Skeens, he's really, he gets it.
Well, he's nationally known now. Before he was just Pirate known.
No.
Now he's nationally known because what he's done. So
there are people talking to him and don't even know his name.
Yeah, entertainment values. George is right. That's where he's at.
Remember, the game is what? An exhibition.
Yeah.
That's what we have to remember. Now, real games, not so much. They're going to hit Judge again, and then there's going to be they only play once more. That's the big deal.
It was interesting that I read the same time you did. It was Holmes, not.
It was Holmes. I did too. I went back.
Yeah.
And I was going to text you. I said he'll find out. And the ball. It was raining.
So the ball could have been slippery.
Could have been.
You understand how bad Holmes' control is. I don't know if we can hit him on, but his control, he's everywhere on every pitch.
So it's very possible.
But between those two, they don't think that way.
No, not when he hits Judge 5 times. On
purpose, yeah.
And if you hit Judge, they're going to hit your guy. It's that simple.
Yeah.
You might hit one of those guys at the bottom of the order. If you hit Judge,
it's coming back at you.
It's coming back at you.
Yeah.
And like you said, it was wet that night, so who knows? Devers is on fire. I watched him when the Red Sox they kind of went through a year or two of rebuild. They're ready to grab now. You said it last week. They're going to grab somebody.
I'm saying all along. St. Louis and
they don't care what they spend.
They're going to bring players in. They're going to bring because they have a chance now. They didn't think they had a chance.
No.
Now they think they have a chance, so they're going to.
No.
And they got no names except for Devers.
Is this guy did we know
you
about?
Don't know that.
We knew Rafi Devers. Did we know he was this good?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
See, I told you, George. I play fantasy.
Yeah, he's not a.
When he's the third price guy on fantasy all the time.
There you go, behind Judge and.
Soto.
Or how about this? Ohtani just bought a new house. Not a house, a mansion. No. And these 2 Japanese television stations were here talking to their neighbors and such, and they gave away the location. Now he can't move in. He has to sell it and move somewhere else. And I wouldn't be real happy.
How about that?
They told him you can do the story. Yeah, that's how they live.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't know. We have
no idea.
I go in a restaurant once and say, "Hey, aren't you the fat guy?" I go, "Yeah, that's me," and that's the end of it. we will say this. Now, I got one.
That's something else. Jeez.
No, you just can't do it. You just can't do it. By the way, he hit one Sunday, he broke a chair. 114 miles. No, Devers. 114 miles an hour. Yeah. Now, here's the one that surprised me. Our boys, the Oakland A's, they come in and take 2 out of 3 after Philly swept the Dodgers. If you know baseball, that's baseball.
It's baseball.
But I didn't know.
Oakland had lost about 8 out of 10 games.
Yeah, no,
they go in and beat the Phillies, who has the best record in baseball.
But how about this? They hit 8 homers Sunday. No, not
the Pirates.
Not
they'll
2.
They'll hit 8 today.
No, not 2 homers.
Then they'll go a week without hitting.
Not 3 homers.
Yeah, think about that.
8 homers.
It's baseball, though.
No,
that's why it's a 162 games.
This Arraez, he's not playing in the All-Star game. He's hurt. Here's my question. Could he?
He's going to play next Friday. I'll break.
There you go.
I'll break it right now. I'll say it now. I love to be wrong.
Now here, I have the dumbest thing that happened over the weekend, and I'm going to add to that. The most selfish thing that happened on the weekend.
I can't wait to hear it.
Dane Myers for Miami gets thrown out of the game arguing with the ump.
Okay.
That happens. Because then he kicks the door and breaks his ankle.
I just read about somebody punching, so that's that's 2 in a week.
Yep, they punched the door. Yeah,
that's 2 in a week.
Now let me ask you, I would not call that even. Now he's going to be out how many weeks, right. And then I'm going to discipline him for being selfish.
Well,
we
believe that. That's what George and I believe.
Yeah.
Listen, you didn't think about your teammates. You were thinking about yourself completely. And therefore, I hope that the coach had said earlier, remember, he hadn't said this, you can't do it. But it said, if you do something selfish to hurt our team, you're going to be disciplined.
Well, let me ask you. Have you ever known of a door or a wall that gave in?
Never.
I'm still waiting for that first wall to collapse when some jackass punches the wall.
Yeah.
Because it's not happening.
It's not very smart.
Oh, I saw one. I thought of you the other day.
Not very
I thought of you the other day. I'm watching some things on Twitter, and this kid gets into one, stands there, starts dancing, takes the bat, and he'd have been out right there. And this guy said, "Where's the coach?" I wrote underneath, I said, he could stop it, but he won't.
I saw one, George, to get started on it. At least that guy cracked it.
He cracked
another kid hit a single over the third baseman's head.
No, he didn't.
And danced in the thing. And I said, now it's down to singles.
Single.
It used to be home run. It had to be a home run.
Yeah, dinger.
Now it's down to singles.
How about the other day, I guess, guy for the Cubs, he bats 229.
I saw that one.
Did you hear Jim Edmonds?
I saw it.
He says, "Hey, buddy, you're hitting 229. Get running.
Get running as fast as you can."
Well, you're hitting 220.
Yes.
That's like, when a guy looks back there, Sawinski, when he takes strike 3, which he does a lot.
A million times.
What do you think? Don't you think the ump says, "Jack, you're batting 180"? Now, if that's Joe DiMaggio.
Well, that's why I couldn't ref.
Yeah, you'd say that.
I was roughing basketball, and the kid would look at me, and I said, "You stink."
Yeah, you missed it. Yeah, you can't say that.
You can't say that as a referee.
No.
I said, "Who can't?" I got out of ref, so I quit.
Yeah,
because I couldn't help myself.
Yes.
A guy coming in, turn his back sideways,
flipping up over his head.
Where's the call?
Where's the fun? And guess what? You're not getting the next one either. Oh no, we ref in the summer, whatever. There would be no.
But I ref for real.
You were reffing for real.
I was real. I said, okay.
If you didn't take something that I thought had a chance to go in, there'd be no foul.
No, you get locked down.
All right, the summer league. God bless America. It is.
Talking about the NBA summer league.
The worst I've ever.
I'll give you credit. You watch it.
Well, no, it's on. I remember I have 2 TVs.
Yes.
So it's on. But what I'm noticing, how bad it is. The play is awful. And I watch, and so many of them are playing zone.
How can they
I'm
do
not
that?
sure it's necessary because it can't mean anything.
Necessary is not the word. Listen.
Why are they playing?
I think a summer league basketball league is to try to figure out, did we make a mistake? This kid's really good.
Can this guy compete?
Or this one can't play.
Yep.
Well, if you're playing zone, you can't tell that.
No, I watched it. It wasn't one team. And here's my second. My least favorite thing of all is when you have 9,000 coaches in the same shirt on the bench. Red Auerbach did it by himself.
Can you believe what?
Albert, there were 15 guys in a gray shirt the other day.
And they should be embarrassed because I want to know what they do.
They can't be doing it.
No, I want to know what they do. My other thought, George, is and I don't watch it. But as I flip by the channel and see it's on, many of these kids, and I call them kids,
Yeah.
they don't have a second plan B. Like this is
it.
you understand?
Yeah.
If they don't make it here,
We got about 60 credits.
they're going to be on the streets.
And-
No, and
Yeah.
I think you
Yeah.
understand. I know they have no plan B. I read too much
Yeah.
and see too much. Their whole bottle of wax is in this.
Yeah, 1 year to
league.
college and
yeah,
then to
trying
summer.
to get this done.
And by the way, you know you're really bad. Brawny has even said he would be open to another. In other words, basically said, "I'll play in the G League." That's how bad he's playing.
I'm glad he said that, though. I'm glad
Yeah.
he said that he was given this for sure. And there's, man, if you, I don't know if you guys go on the internet like George and I do, because we have a show, we have to try to pick things up. They are bombarding LeBron.
Yeah,
No, bombarding him.
he has it coming.
You know that.
I feel sorry for the kid because I'm not
Exactly.
sure it was all his
Exactly.
doing. He should be playing for Drew Joyce at Duquesne.
Yes.
I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going to ask you.
He wouldn't start Duquesne.
Well,
no, I'm not laughing. I'm being
no,
serious.
I'm
though.
not sure.
You know, I'm not cracking a joke.
I'm going to.
You know, I don't like Doug Gottlieb.
Yeah.
But he may already made a statement.
Yeah, he
said
wouldn't play for us.
He wouldn't start
No,
for us.
at Green Bay. I'm going
Yeah.
to go a step further back. You're going to think I'm nuts. He's not better than a super guard.
That's what I'm saying.
There's no question.
No, I know
The kid from Kennedy is
I know
better
the
than
Kennedy kid would not be scared to play against him.
No.
Not a thought.
No, he's 4 or 5 inches bigger.
I know he is.
He's a 6'1" shooting guard. There
making
is no such
A
animal.
2-year contract for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the guys on the bench in those matching outfits, there's always a couple women there too, by the way. That's the
That'll get you go too.
that gets me. I have to watch what I say.
No,
Al and I trained a million ladies and,
Yes.
and young girls, and we loved it. We worked just as hard as we did with the guys.
And I got to admit, I say right now, looking at me, hope the women are watching me. I have chauvinist in me. I do. I'll say it straight up. I'm not saying this. I don't want to see a woman coaching football. I said, wait a minute. You might be the smartest girl in the world. You've never once, in the middle of a game with 2 minutes left, said, man, what do I do here now? What do I do here?
Well,
it's easy to say.
I just got hit up under the throat.
Yes.
I don't
So I got a
know.
minute. I got a minute.
Hey, what do you think? Like the technical aspect. I'm getting tired of this horns and all these
Oh, that's it. They're all
abbreviations.
Downhill.
Downhill. I saw one today. I'm like, now we got a buddy that's a pretty good coach. He called me. He said, "What does that mean?" And I'm like, downhill, dribble
Driving
hand.
hard-
No,
driving hard to the
dribble
basket.
handoff. DHO. That's a new one.
No, they don't.
I swear to
They
God.
have letters for it.
He called me. He said, they're talking about the DHO. He says,
I
what?
ran to Weave in high school in 1972.
I said, I was playing off 2 feet in '88. They were calling it a travel up in Erie.
George taught me a new word on a radio show.
Drivel.
Jargon.
Jargon. Jargon. It's all downhill.
Jargon.
They're downhill.
Like D what? DHO.
DHO. I was telling him, we had a dribble handoff in our offense in '77. We ran a moving screen like for the postman rolling down to the block out of the UCLA 2-1-2. And now it's a DHO.
Oh my gosh. We did 3 things off our DHOs from Coach McCloskey, but depending on what the defense did.
Yeah, of course.
We sure did not know. I guarantee you. Do you think Coach McCloskey called it a DHO?
Yeah. Hey, I'm watching one time. Pete Carrillo, Pete had the great motion, right?
Oh, he did.
And this guy's just standing there in the corner. He says, "Do you want him to write you a letter?" He goes, he's 80 years old, but he was probably 70 at the time.
Oh, my.
In other words, move your rear end.
What are you standing there for?
Yeah,
I know.
DHO. But anyway, the WNBA, real quick, we have to mention, just because of the crowds. They filled up the Minnesota arena.
Yeah, she
but
did
you know what I found out today, a guy on radio? See, I'm not a geography maven, but it's closer to Indiana than any of the other places.
Oh, okay, that's
Minnesota.
why. Okay.
And she sold it out. You have to give her credit.
Yeah, she
now,
has
here's
done
the
that.
Minnesota question. She's out of line.
This is not her coach. This is
The other
opponent
coach.
Okay.
She has a shirt on that says Black Girls Rock. She's a white lady. Which is, that's your
That's her
choice.
choice, right?
But they said to her, your place is sold out.
Right.
I'll quote it with leaving the profanity
okay.
out. I don't give two poops. This lady, what are you?
She's real good at
What is she now?
representing the Lakers.
Yeah, what is she now? She's J.J. Redick Jr.
Yes.
And then they asked her again, and she said, better, I don't give one.
Oh, my.
Are you kidding? Now, she's the Olympic coach. She cut her off.
Get rid of her.
Why?
Right this minute.
What, does that make her a tough guy because she can swear or something? Oh.
You guys who don't hear our radio show, you'll hear me say what I might quote on there all the time. If I thought
you'd have cussed with the best of them, wouldn't you?
That cussing made my team win, they would have said, Coach Campman changed his ways.
He got new words, and I've
never heard
him
him say before. Because that's why they're winning. It doesn't help you one bit, lady. Well, I know what Minnesota's record is. That's what I know. I'm looking it up now.
Well, their best girl's hurt.
Oh, okay.
Now,
that's Stewie.
We have to. No. Stewie plays for New York.
Okay.
Now, wait, we got to do this one. Because this is You Don't Get It, Brother. Last week, a guy for the Vikings was killed in an auto accident with alcohol involved.
I remember reading that. I read it.
They found Jordan Addison over the weekend asleep in the passing lane on the California freeway. Asleep in the passing lane, not on the side of the road. In the passing lane. Yeah, he was asleep. After one of his teammates was killed 6 days earlier.
Here's why it's stupid, guys. Here's why it's stupid. George taught me this a long time ago. And I learn and listen. In the NFL,
I have it now.
If you know you had too much to drink,
call it.
Call somebody. They have somebody on duty.
They have a number
like this,
in their wallet.
Like this.
They'll come get you.
Come pick you up.
No questions.
No question asked.
Where were you? What you do? Nothing.
You're at a party. Okay, we'll be there to pick you up.
Yeah, we screwed up.
You got in the car after somebody else got killed.
A week before.
And got passed out in the bed. And guess what? My daughter might have been coming out.
How about asleep in the passing lane?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, someone coming 70 miles an hour.
I can't believe he didn't get hit.
He did. Well, that's the way it works in funny ways, as you know.
What will the NFL do, though, George? That's the question. See, that's always the question.
2 games, maximum.
They'll give him 2 games?
Yeah.
I hope you're right.
You know who that is? That's a kid from Pitt.
I hope.
Went to Southern Cal.
I know.
Yeah.
I hope they do something.
Yeah, they have to do something.
Okay.
They have to do
because
something.
Nothing happened. I thought maybe.
Well, in other news, Tyreek just fathered his 9th child.
Listen, is this The View?
I feel like Barbara Walters here. Yeah, I mean, this is what's going on. Well, there's no balls, so this is what we're looking at.
Tyreek, he has 2 coming at the same time.
3 or 4 coming, they're all the same age.
That's what I'm saying. Tyreek killed, the number 1 receiver.
Come on, Tyreek.
You would think you learn. Tyreek has 2 more coming right now. He has 2 new ones.
Yeah. Different baby mama, obviously. What is he doing? What is he doing? By the way, camps are opening up in another week.
So in other words, I can't say to my grandsons, hey.
Be like him.
You want to be like that?
No, don't. You say,
no.
No, you say, hey, boys, whatever you do.
Don't follow Tyreek.
Do not be like Tyreek, because it's not good.
Oh, my gosh.
As we speak, did another team go into another league? The Big 12 is poaching on Clemson and Florida State.
They're all going.
I would think so, too.
3 big leagues, George coming. 3 big leagues.
Ones.
Yeah.
3 monsters.
3 big leagues.
We're waiting to see what happens with the mids, because if they won't play, I assume they're going to sweet talk. No. They could say.
Oh, they still could play.
You have 8 league games.
Okay.
And you're 4 on you. That would do 2 things. It would give them an excellent chance to go 6-6 and make a bowl.
Okay.
And it would keep the mid guys in business. In other words,
you think the Bulls will stay in business? That's the question.
No. See, I can't.
I don't know they can stay in business.
That's a great question.
Yeah,
see, that's a good one.
I don't know if they could.
We got about a
minute.
What a
lie. Think of that. We used to enjoy the Rose Bowl, the Cotton Bowl.
Oh, no, 4:30 on New Year's.
We knew.
Oh, Big Ten versus the Pac.
No, it's nothing.
Hey, soccer in Miami. Did you see that disaster?
No.
Oh, they destroyed the place.
Those soccer fans are crazy.
But let me add one thing. They had the ticket on their phone. How good did it do? The guy's out there. There's 2,000 people. They're rushing the gate. They're breaking it. Guy's holding his $2,000 ticket up on his phone. He can't get in. They locked him out.
I got to admit, that might have got some anger.
Now, you had a couple vodkas, and then the next thing you know, hey, thanks again for watching Bottom Line Sports Talk. See you next week.